This YCN segment is brought to you by Mount Sunapee Resort. Fun for all seasons.
Welcome in, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, and we are here at Ramonto's in Claremont, our monthly trek here. And Andrew, as always, they give us a whole bunch of food.
Oh, yeah.
Looks pretty good. Hopefully we can make it through a couple segments without eating it.
They treat us well here, don't they?
So we'll get into that. We'll break down the sandwiches, subs. We got onion rings, fries. So we'll get to that next segment. Obviously, beers. They got Harpoon Brewery. They serve all kinds of beers. So Ramonto's in Claremont. Make sure you stop by and check them out. Let's get right into it. Opening day has come and gone. Baseball season is finally here. I know you're a big Red Sox fan, baseball fan. Just your first impressions. Obviously, Sox losing a tough one on opening day.
Yeah.
But it's good to have baseball back.
Oh, yeah, definitely good to have it back. I mean, I've missed it all these months, right? Especially with the slow off season.
Yes.
Felt like there was just no baseball news at all. But finally, it's back. And yeah, after that opening day loss, they've racked up a few wins here.
Yeah, they've played well. Obviously, the first game that we're talking about, I'm sure everyone's seen it, they've heard it, they've watched it, blowing a 4-run lead. And last year, they did not blow a 4-run lead all last year.
Right.
And for a team that was pretty good last year, that's saying something, that never did they have a meltdown of that magnitude as they did on opening day.
Right.
But after that, I know it was a tough start, and Alex Cora, he got thrown right into the fire.
Yeah,
Why not bring in Kimbrel in? And I'll be the first to admit, I was the first one on that train. Why is Kimbrel not ready? Somebody said he had pitched on Tuesday in spring training, so he wasn't ready for opening day. You got to get that kind of stuff lined up.
Yeah, I think before the game, I heard some rumors. Maybe Cora said to Kimbrel, "You're not going to pitch in this game," so maybe he just wasn't available. But yeah, I just think with the things going on with his daughter, with heart surgery, he had a shorter spring. So I think Cora was trying to kind of ease him back a little bit. But up by 4 runs in the 8th inning, after Chris Sale pitches 6 scoreless innings, you got to hold on to that lead. Joe Kelly comes in and walks 3 guys. So painful to watch. But luckily, they've won 4 straight. Yeah, since then.
Yeah, they beat Tampa Bay the next 3 games.
3 games.
And you mentioned Chris Sale and their starting pitching. Yeah. And they're starting pitching that whole series against Tampa Bay. We'll just talk about those first 4 games really well, even though they lost the first one. But then David Price, he looked really good, throwing Porcello, you got to be encouraged by him. And then even Hector Velasquez, on Sunday. So starting pitching has looked really good so far.
Yeah, I mean, the 4 and 5 guys in the starting rotation who were supposed to be, Eduardo Rodriguez or Drew Pomeranz or Stephen Wright, one of those or 2 of those 3 guys, but all 3 of those guys are on the DL right now. So you have Hector Velasquez and Brian Johnson. They both did extremely well. Did they go? I think they each went 6 innings with 1 earned run, something like that. Yeah. They both performed very well. That is a big boost to this team if we can have guys come from the minors to pitch as well as they did in the 4 and 5 slots.
Yeah, and I think the first time through the order, you're right, all the starting pitchers went 6 innings.
Right.
And it's really encouraging to see Rick Porcello have the start that he had. Last year his first inning was the big problem.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems like he went 1-2-3 in the first inning against Tampa Bay. He retired. I think he had like 3 or 4 straight innings of no-hit ball, or maybe it was 3 innings. I don't remember exactly. But he's pitching well. And the bullpen, they've certainly turned it around. Yeah. A little bit of a hiccup on Monday's game.
Right.
Walden kind of, but the game was out of hand. They didn't blow the game.
Yeah.
But after, other than that, Joe Kelly and Carson Smith, bullpen's pitched pretty well. Matt Barnes, a couple good outings.
Yeah, Matt Barnes is looking good. I mean, there were times last year where his confidence was kind of being shaken, and Farrell put him in a lot of kind of tight games, and he was just not delivering. But he's looked good as of late. If he can be that 8th inning guy, that setup man to bridge the gap to Kimbrel, that's going to be huge for this team.
And before we get into the offense, we'll take a break. We'll talk about the offense next segment. But getting back to that starting pitching, how long do you think they can last with this Velasquez and Brian Johnson? I know we've seen flashes of Brian Johnson, but let's not get too excited.
Yeah.
We still need the other 2, Pomeranz and Rodriguez.
Well, absolutely, and we have to remember they're playing against the Rays and the Marlins.
Right.
Really, those 2 teams, their offenses come to the end of the season. I think they're going to be in the bottom of of all the majors in terms of runs scored. So we have to remember there's kind of been softer opponents, but hopefully they can carry this early season success into their next starts.
Right, even if they only get a few starts and then the guys come back, or they can carry them through the month of April or something like that. That's all that really matters. They don't really have to pitch. unbelievable. Just get them to that bullpen. So bullpen's pitching well. The starting pitching is well. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some offense. And we are here at Ramonto's in Claremont, New Hampshire. We got all kinds of food. We'll talk about the food when we come back. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.